Hey there you guys, I'm that punk junkie that your parents warned you about, and we are back. It's been a little bit of a minute, but today we're going to be talking about a theory I have, and this theory is that in the episode By Any Other Name, the drink that Scotty uses to drink a Klingon under the table is absinthe. Now, if you know anything about absinthe or not, I'm here to, one, clear up what absinthe is, and two, try to get some points in on why this is absinthe. Now, absinthe itself is, commonly thought to only taste like anise or black licorice, and is green, has a high alcohol content, and that's about it. That's all you can think of, and it's distilled. Likewise, I have some news for you. There's several different things that are not the same. I actually found out by going to Wizard World Chicago and running into the Loup Garou Alchemy Company, who actually make absinthe kits. So this is actually really exciting for me because I get to try to prove Wiki Alpha wrong. Well, not necessarily wrong, but give them another point. But let's just start there. So in the episode By Any Other Name, it starts off, Kirk answering a ship's distress call and Kirk and Spock getting trapped on a planet, yada yada yada. Well, while the Klingons try to take over the ship. So there's a Klingon on board who's disguised as a human, and his name is Tomar. And Scotty is not having it. He is not a fan of Klingons. He's never been a fan of Klingons. So, on Wiki Alpha, it says Scott and Tomar finish their second bottle, both becoming more and more inebriated. Scotty confounds the universal translator and starts pouring something green. Alright, so that was my first clue. What sort of alcohols are green? Well, soon, the Klingon and both Scotty and the Klingon are down for the count. They are passed out after drinking this something green. So, what is something green with high alcohol content was basically my mentality, because they drank one whole bottle of scotch. So, scotch plus something green equals the man who could drink anybody under the table, and the Klingon down for the count. So I thought, high alcohol content is green. And I was just like searching through the internet, and I found absinthe. And absinthe traditionally is from Switzerland. Let me just double check that, but I believe it's Switzerland. And it has a alcohol content of 45 to 75%, and a proof of, in the US, 90 to 148. So I was thinking this is probably it. This is probably the drink. Now, fun fact is that absinthe is usually kept in glass bottles. Scotty pulls out a glass bottle, and that's what it's from, but it's behind his bed. And if you look at the setup of his room, you have the main area with the table and the computer and his kilt hanging on the wall, and behind the divider is his bed. Now, if you look at like Kirk's room and stuff, it's kind of different, but even for being a senior officer, not the captain, it makes you kind of think. But his room, the bed is kind of in the corner, and it's dark. And I would think that Scotty might have his temperature set a little bit lower, because he's from Scotland, and they're not, super warm in Scotland. So I'm thinking that this cool, dark place kept the absinthe a dark green. Now, if you bring absinthe into the light, and it sits and it gets light shone on it, it becomes a yellow-green, then a brown. So I'm assuming this is very nice absinthe that Scotty kept by his bed in order to keep it a nice green color. Just for aesthetic's sake, just all the aesthetic right there. He just wants that nice green absinthe. But the thing is during his drunk state, he didn't know what it was. So what was it? And I'm saying it's absinthe. Now, what I found out through the alchemy group that was at the Wizard World Chicago convention was there's a lot more absinthe than just that one flavor of black licorice. Because I'm not an anise fan. I pushed those anise cookies away from me at Christmas time. But they have a couple of choices that I'd say Scotty would enjoy. Now, if you are on the page already, go to their shop portion. If you are here on my channel, then please go down to the description, click the link, and open it in another tab, and go look at these with me, alright? So the first one, I'm going to theorize 3 things that the flavor could be. Well, 4. It could be traditional absinthe, which, if you're looking at the Loup Garou Alchemy page, is the Green Fairy. So that one is the traditional absinthe. Now, if it's Scotty, so I'm going to theorize 3 things. If it's Scotty's choice, what flavor would he pick? If it was the Klingon's choice, what flavor would he pick? And if it was Scotty and Bones together, because there's a lot of fan theories that Scotty and Bones, since they share a bathroom, they have a distillery in the bathroom, which I would not doubt at all. So, or if it's Scotty and Bones and from their distillery. So, first off, I think it could very well be a traditional absinthe because of the fact it was so dusty. If you were making a absinthe on a ship and you were bottling it then and there, it's not going to be as dusty and not used as that bottle was. That bottle was kind of dusty. It was kind of, but I feel like if it was an old bottle of absinthe that maybe he brought from home, maybe it was like a goodbye gift, I would assume that like Scotty's sisters would probably be like, you're gonna need this on your trip, here you go. And gives them an old bottle of absinthe and an old bottle of scotch. I feel like that could be a very high possibility that it was a very basic flavor of absinthe. So probably your traditional anise, wormwood, and fennel. Otherwise, I'm going to jump into what I think Scotty would drink. Now, I really love Scotty, and if you've seen my James Doohan, 20 Things About James Doohan video, then you know I love Scotty. I absolutely love Scotty so much. And I think that if it was Montgomery Scott, his choice of what flavor his absinthe was, judging by what the Loup Garou Alchemy page has, I think that he would really like the Dread Pirate, something kind of citrusy and also kind of tea-like. I feel like Scotty's a big tea drinker, and I feel like he'd really enjoy that. If it were the Klingon who had the ability to choose the random bottle of absinthe, which he has no choice in Scotty's, but I'm gonna have fun here. If he had the choice, he would choose Dragon's Breath. Now, it has like chili and chocolate, and it's good in a spicy drink, so I feel like it would be good with like Klingon blood wine. It would be a good Klingon blood wine additive. Or, you know, just a good drink in general. Now, a majority of people would think that most absinthe is distilled. I learned that you can actually make your own absinthe without distilling it and just putting in the wormwood, which is the main thing you need to have absinthe. And, excuse me, the spices included. Therefore, that's how you get an absinthe. And I thought that was really cool. So, all the stuff that is on the alchemy page, if you're looking at it right now, or if you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to peruse that later, it's all stuff you can add to your own alcohol at home. So if you have vodka, you can add it to vodka. If you have moonshine, you can add it to moonshine. If you have Jack Daniels, you can add it to Jack Daniels. It's really neat. If you have scotch, add it to scotch. Scotty would be proud. Alright. Now, if it was Bones and Scotty. If it was Bones and Scotty, it would be Jekyll. Now, Jekyll is like a minty vanilla, so I feel like that goes with Bones pretty well, and I feel like it fits with Scotty as well. They're both very sweet humans. Other than that, I just believe that that's what Scotty was drinking. They do bring back the idea of a green drink in Relics, but it's an alien liquor. So it does kind of get Scotty drunk, but in quantity, it doesn't do what the green drink in the original series did, which was, but then again, Scotty was drinking a lot more. They just finished a whole thing of scotch. So, I mean, you could kind of tell, but I'm pretty sure that in the original series he was drinking absinthe because of the fact that Scotty drinking scotch is a normal thing. That's a thing that happens all the time. Sure, he might have been, a little tipsy, wasted. No, he was up there. He was pretty drunk. He was pretty drunk by that bottle of scotch. But I don't think that that was an accurate description because it was such an old bottle of scotch. Maybe it's like, it's really hard to figure out because I'm trying to think on how in the next generation in Relics, when they're drinking something green, it's a Sardian whiskey, something like that, and it's something Jean-Luc Picard picked up. But I think since not only the time frames are different, but also how easily drunk Scotty got off of the drink in Next Gen is big variables. People can yell at me and tell me that he was stuck in a transporter beam for 75 years. He's gonna get drunk easily, but I don't think that's the case because for him, for his body, his molecules, it was just yesterday. Like, just yesterday that ship crashed. Just yesterday I was headed to a retirement home. Something like that. It's not the same. So I'm going to say that it was absinthe. Other than that, please check out the Loup Garou Alchemy page if you have not already. The link will be in my description box below, so check out the description below. And other than that, I'm that punk Trekkie that your parents warned you about. Live long and punk rock.